So make sure your priorities of what you're talking about holds weight. The Bubba Wallace story does hold weight, but it's not important over with the policies and stuff that we're trying to get across. There would be no Bubba Wallace story if it wasn't for the George Floyd situation of Ahmaud Arbery and Breonna Taylor. It's all just a trickle-down effect. It comes with it, but we also got to stay focused on what's the important thing about it. So when you're talking about discussions and stuff like that, and that's fine when you build and discuss with people, but make sure in those discussions you're talking about this police reform stuff, because that's what really counts and that's where it really starts. Welcome back to the Randall Tube, to the Randall Son YouTube channel. Thank you. Hold on. You know, one thing I ain't like about, you see how my arm looks so small right there, right? Hold on, let me get the little side view for them haters though real quick though. I was feeling a little, oh, that took all my breath. I'm so excited. I'm back. I'm happy that I'm recording. Let me see if I can get in here. Just, oh man, I gotta scoot back a little bit. So I'm glad I'm recording. I told you I'm gonna try to at least do one video a week. Tomorrow will mark 7 days since my last post. So here's my next one. It is not about vegan food. Today we're gonna do a podcast talk. But before I get into that, I'm gonna go ahead and just run. I did go protesting last Juneteenth. Yes, that's how I spent my Juneteenth. Since it was a COVID, there was really no big festivals or things like that going on. My family was more relaxing or whatnot, so I decided to take the day and go downtown and march and protest. It was a long day for me, so I was out there probably for like 5 hours. This protest, it was similar to the other ones. There was times where things got out of hand. I saw some things I was like, don't do that. But, you know, you can't control everybody. I can't, you know, so it is what it is. Like I said, I had my reasons for going out there and protesting. Other people have their reasonings and how they protest. I'm not going to be one that's going to be out there busting windows, burning things, and doing all that type of stuff, aggravating police or anything like that. Really to get the message out to the people who are not marching and to make awareness or whatnot, or whatever is going on. But other than that, it was a successful protest. Like I said, it was long. I was out there for like 5.5 hours. I was exhausted. I was happy to get home, and then I had to get ready for the following day. It has been a long week. A lot of things has been in the news. The Trump rally, NASCAR, Bubba Wallace, more innocent lives being taken that's been popping up. Old lives that has been taken has been popping up too as well. But there's a lot of things I can talk about. And that's why I want to stay focused as far as me and other people too as well, right? Because yeah, it's fine to go out there and march and protest or whatnot, but we also got to make sure that these policies and stuff like that are being taken place and they're taken seriously. So with that being said, we have the Senate, which had the Democrat Party and the Republican Party both came up with a police reform bills, which are trying to get it passed to be set in law, so these policies will be taken in place. With this one, the police reform bill, I would think the bill will ban no chokeholds and will hold the police more accountable for their actions. And for what the Democratic Party has put together, it more in lines went with that. On the other side of this, other side of the token, with the Republican side, they did not. So what's happening now is there's a bill, police reform. Nothing is being done because one side wants to be more lenient, the other side wants to be more tough. And which sucks in the situation is in a society where people are rioting and protesting and stuff like that, the action of what really needs to get done, there's no movement with it now, because it's at a sit still because of these two sides that are arguing over what bill should be going and passed. It's amazing to me to see that the Republican Party does not want to ban the chokeholds, for one. The George Floyd murder I believe set everything off. Was probably the last straw in the bucket as far as before everyone started to nationally and worldwide started protesting. With the evidence, the video evidence and everything, you would think, okay, that has to go. The fact that the man had a knee in the in the back of his neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, and to do a bill, you didn't include anything as far as to stop that, where the Democratic police reform bill is stated with anything as far as cutting off any airway pressure or bloodway, into a human. You can't do that. That's what the Democrats had set for the people to help us, right? And the Republican Party did not add that in there. Also, what they did not add is too the immunity that the police have if they take some sort of force, as far as like killing someone and stuff like that, they won't be held accountable in a certain way in the legal system. They actually, one of the senators, I believe his name is Tim Scott, I want to say from South Carolina. I don't know why I mean this. I think, but well, he referred to that taking away the immunity as a poison pill. I don't understand how that's a poison pill to have somebody held accountable for their actions if they were to take someone's life away. Under certain circumstances, if you had to use deadly force, you have to use deadly force. But if you had to use deadly force, and it came to the light that you didn't have to use deadly force, and that you use this because of racism or something like that, you don't get held accountable for that. That makes no sense for me. It doesn't. To me, it doesn't make any sense at all. And why are you? It seems like the Republican Party, not all, but for the bill that they had came up with, so a lot of them had to. I don't know every single name of but how can you stand behind the bill that doesn't help the people? Which is the whole reason why we're even talking about this police reform bill, because what happened to George Floyd. And it seems like you're not even wanting to help the situation so that situation doesn't happen again. So then it comes to a point to where it's like, well, whose side are you on? Are you for the people or for yourselves? As I stand more on the Democratic side, I still like to say I like to go with the person who has the best policy for me and my people, for us to move on. But to see the other news, like Fox News, attack Democrats or Republican, attack the Democrats or how they're saying they're trying to stop the bill, we're trying to help, and they're stopping. I'm glad that they stopped, because that's not what the American people want. The people are not listening to or seeing what's going out there in these streets, these protesters, these deaths. Like, they're just oblivious to actually what's actually really going on. How can you make up these stories or whatnot and say this and that and say it in front of the camera and really believe that? So I try not to focus on too much of changing their minds as far as the people, as far as the reporters and stuff like that, because I mean, it does matter, but then it doesn't matter. I can't spend too much time trying to change someone's mind. Only person's mind I can try to change is the person who has some power over getting things done, which is these politicians. It's just sad to me that stuff like this is the reason why racism is still existing, because it's like you're slowing the process of trying to eliminate it, right? You either racist or you're anti-racist. There's no in between. It's either you are or you ain't. And that's just the way it is. Why are you slowing down the process? And this too, I feels like it even puts a dagger into the good cops that are out there too, though, because bills like this actually help the good cops. As a person, if I was on the force and I'm doing my job, A1 and going by the book. But I know there's other people that are slacking. That makes me mad at some point. Be like, you know, when I'm doing my job, like, you know what, these are just slackers. I'm the real good cop out here. These are the bums that the people are talking about and making the rest of us look bad. If you put in a rule that comes in play that actually exposes them and gets them out of there, that is good. But I understand the game that is being played though too, for it to slow it down, because they want to be able to choke. They want to be able to use deadly force and do these things. Why? To your own people, especially to the innocent lives though too as well. No one said they're trying to take away your guns or take away your bullets or anything like that. These are simple things like it's chokeholds and stuff, and you're acting like, no, we need that. Why? Because it seems like the times you're using it is not at good times. And if you want more money on training to tell you not to do chokeholds, I think that's baloney too. No. We'll start putting other trained people in there that know how to de-escalate situations without putting someone in a chokehold, since you're not capable of doing that in the correct manner. Anyway, enough about that. I will get into some news. I feel like it's like distraction news. That's real news. So we're talking about the police reform. That's real news. That's the stuff that people should be focusing about. My next topic, I will be talking about the Bubba Wallace story. But before I get into the Bubba Wallace story, this is all entertainment, sports like type stuff. It matters, but the real thing that matters is getting those policies passed, right, people? So focus on that before you start diving in and putting too much energy in stories that's not really, it's important, but it's not more important. The priorities, it should be a priority level. So make sure your priorities of what you're talking about holds weight. The Bubba Wallace story does hold weight, but it's not important over with the policies and stuff that we're trying to get across. There would be no Bubba Wallace story if it wasn't for the George Floyd situation, Ahmaud Arbery and Breonna Taylor. It's all just a trickle-down effect. It comes with it, but we also got to stay focused on what's the important thing about it. So when you're talking about discussions and stuff like that, and that's fine when you build and discuss with people, but make sure in those discussions you're talking about this police reform stuff, because that's what really counts and that's where it really starts. Now, going on to the Bubba Wallace story. Bubba Wallace, I never knew who this guy was. I'm not a fan of NASCAR. I try to watch Formula One and stuff because they do have this stuff here in Austin, but it's not something I really get into. And because, yeah, I'm gonna be honest, it's a lot of white people. I don't see myself. I'm not. People get attracted to stuff that they see themselves in, right? I don't see myself at NASCAR because I don't see anybody that looks like me that's out there, so I'm not very attracted to the sport, right? So, but I know we have very few race car drivers, not just in NASCAR, they're in the formulas, like the Formula One, the different type of cars racing, so not just NASCAR itself. And there's actually a black woman race car driver too as well. I should have looked her up and to give her a shout out. But Bubba Wallace, 26-year-old, driver number 43 for the Tom Petty Motorsports team. He came out and wanted the NASCAR to ban all the Confederate flags at all the NASCAR speedways, which is great. I felt that because my views on the Confederate flag is, and when I first see it as a black person from the North, I look at it as straight racism. I look at it as a flag of sore losers, of people who still wanna. I understand. In that mindset, you were from the South. I understand you were trying to hold on to slavery and this and that, and y'all fought and y'all went to war, right? America went to war at each other, and y'all lost. But then you still want to hold. It's like how it okay, whatever. The ignorance that follows the flag, it's the symbolism that what bothers me the most. More not just the fact that it's so it's just the South, so it represents the South, that's fine. But the fact that that was a flag and it's still a flag that still get used and it's so tagged to racism, so it's like you can't just say it's just about the South. It holds so much other weight in which bothers me. And it got to the point to where it bothered Bubba. Bubba is a biracial man, right? White father, black mother. I don't know Bubba. I don't know if he ever had an identity crisis as far as should he be, say that he's black or should he be white, or if he says, you know, he's both. But knowing that he is partial black, I'm sure he has some feelings and some ways and some stuff that he has seen growing up. And seeing what's going on and it bother him, all after fact, I heard him say on an ESPN interview how after watching the Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, and George Floyd, he got upset and he felt like he wanted to do something. So for a person who is in a sport where it's predominantly white, and you have a platform which you can't speak up, which nobody else would have, I wouldn't expect a white race car or NASCAR driver to speak up and ban all the Confederate flags. But it took Bubba to do that, and it took a lot of courage for him to do that too as well. So I commend him for that, because he didn't have to do that, but he felt like he wanted to do something, and knowing that the sport was all white and probably a whole bunch of people wasn't even, he didn't know what type of response he was going to get. But he said something, and the fact that he spoke up, like I said, I commend him for that. And it had a big spark, and NASCAR went with it, and I'm so happy that they did, because I'm gonna compare him to Kaepernick in the situation, and NASCAR with the NFL, because I feel like the NFL dropped the ball and they got their foot in their mouths now over the Kaepernick situation, right? But now they're in a bind where I don't know if they can legally even apologize to Kaepernick because of the settlement or whatever happened, when they did that settlement. I don't feel like NASCAR wants to be the next NFL and being like, you know, I think NASCAR gets it in a way as far as the future and where we're moving forward. So I commend NASCAR too as well as supporting Bubba Wallace and the
Hey, we're taking Riverside all out.